For years, we've been told that if you're not happy, leave. Some would say, go back to Africa, but that's not what this video is about. Others would say, find your happy place. Find a country with a lower cost of living. Find a place where your lifestyle fits you. And while these some desire and some truth in all of that, I think we have to pull back the reins. I think we have to pull back ever so gently. Because before you ask, where should I live? There's a much more important question that almost no one is asking first. What kind of leverage do I have? That's the question. Because if you haven't built any leverage, move-in won't create freedom. It won't give you the lifestyle that you're looking for. It may simply relocate your limitations. And a limitation with a better view is still a limitation. I'm Emerald, and welcome to another Founder's Keynote here on Relocate with Revenue, where we believe in one simple idea when it comes to relocation. Income first, freedom always. Today, I want to talk about why I don't think most people need to relocate yet. I think they need leverage first. And I want to share with you exactly what I mean by that. Because leverage isn't a buzzword, it's a sequence. And once you understand the sequence, everything changes. But first, I'm going to ask you to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to be notified of any new uploads. So let's hop into it. I think we've accidentally turned relocation into the goal. We compare countries, watch YouTube videos, research taxes, healthcare, visas, neighborhoods, internet speed, cost of living, as though the perfect country is out there, waiting to solve the problems that we haven't already solved ourselves. And I understand that impulse completely, because I had it too. The idea that a change of address would produce a change of circumstances, that the right environment would somehow unlock the right life. But the reality is that countries don't create freedom. People do, with decisions, with systems, with income that doesn't depend on a single geography. I think about it like building a house. Imagine spending months choosing the perfect neighborhood, the perfect lot, the perfect view, researching the schools, the climate, the community, making the perfect decisions about where to build, but never building the foundation. No matter how beautiful the neighborhood is, no matter how carefully you choose the location, the house will still collapse. That is exactly what happens when you relocate before you build leverage. We spend all of our energy choosing the address without strengthening the foundation, the structure that has to live there. The neighborhood is the geography. The house is your financial life. And the foundation, that's the leverage. So when I say you don't need to relocate yet, you need leverage first, what do I actually mean? I don't simply mean money. Money is part of it, but leverage is bigger than money. Leverage is anything that increases your choices. It is the ability to create value, to earn, to adapt, to recover, to make decisions from intention instead of desperation. Leverage gives you options, and options eventually create freedom. And this is the part I want you to pay attention to, because the sequence matters. Leverage doesn't follow freedom. Freedom follows leverage. Let me say that again. Freedom follows leverage, not the other way around. I've come to believe that relocation should happen in the opposite order from the way most people approach it. Most people start with geography. I think geography should come last. In fact, I think freedom is built in layers, and I want to walk you through each one, because the sequence, when you follow it, changes not just where you end up. It changes what you're capable of building when you get there. The first question isn't where should I live? It is, can my life continue functioning without depending on one employer, one client, one geography? Can my income survive the move? And better yet, can it grow because of the move? If your income disappears the moment you cross the border, you haven't built freedom. You've built independence. Income is the first layer because everything else rests on top of it. What do you know and how do you use that to create value anywhere? Marketable freelance skills, consulting, coaching, teaching, creation. And most people miss this. Whatever skills you have, are you keeping it current? Because technology changes, policies change, economies change, but skills travel, and keeping them current is what allows you to go from surviving to thriving wherever you land. Skills without currency are credentials. Skills that are current are leverage. There is a difference. You might think systems is a confining word, something rigid, but if you really think about it, we cannot function without systems. Systems are everywhere. They exist in nature, in the universe, in life itself. We are surrounded by systems we didn't create and cannot live without. So the question isn't whether you'll have systems. The question is whether you'll be intentional about that, because systems create consistency and consistency creates resilience, and resilience is what keeps you standing when things don't go according to plan, which they often don't. Once you have intentional systems in place, you'll find something I can only describe as alignment. And that, my friend, is a beautiful thing. Financial infrastructure, the layer that no one talks about or hardly talks about in relocation. This is where banking, payments, legal structures, consumer protection, insurance, and financial planning begins to matter. Not because they're exciting, because they're not, but because they quietly protect everything that you've built. Most people think about financial infrastructure after they move. I think it needs to be a part of the architecture before you leave. Only now, after you've built the first 4 layers, does geography become one of the easiest decisions you'll make. Because you're no longer asking, where can I survive? You'll be asking a completely different question. Where do I want to thrive? And that question from a position of leverage has a very different sort of answer. I've learned something over the past few years that I want to share with you. People often believe they're relocating to find freedom. I think they're relocating because they're looking for freedom. Those are not the same thing. Let me repeat it again so that you don't have to rewind this. People often believe that they're relocating to find freedom. I think that they're relocating because they're looking for freedom. You see, freedom isn't found at the airport. It isn't found in the visa approval email. It isn't found in the first month of a lower cost of living abroad. Freedom is built, not found, created long before the boarding pass, long before the booking of the ticket. Freedom is founded in one decision, one skill, one income stream, one system at a time. And when you build leverage first, something changes. Freedom is created, and moving abroad stops being an escape plan. It becomes a strategic decision. You're not running from something, you're moving towards something, towards growth, towards opportunity, towards a life of freedom that you're intentionally designing, not accidentally surviving. That shift from running from to moving towards is one of the most important shifts in this entire conversation. And I believe that it only becomes possible when leverage comes first. I think it needs to be a part of the infrastructure before you leave, because a strong structure built on a weak financial foundation is just a more expensive way to start over. So do you want to relocate? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know what you will eventually decide to do or where you will eventually decide to live. That decision belongs to you, and it should. But I do know this. Before you change your geography, build your leverage. Because when you build leverage first, where you live becomes a choice, and a choice is a very different thing from a necessity. That is what Relocate with Revenue has always been about. Not helping people to move, helping people to build enough leverage that moving becomes one of many options. Because again, around here, we believe in something simple. Income first, freedom always. I'm Emro. Thank you for joining me on this Founders Keynote. If this resonated with you, subscribe, and tap the notification bell so that you don't miss the next one. And until next time, keep building your leverage. Keep thinking intentionally, because better decisions create better futures. Asante sana. Peace.
Relocate with the revenue. A channel about relocation leverage. Income independent leverage. Geo arbitrage leverage. Lifestyle leverage. Build freedom intentionally with them, bro.